Welcome to the city of the future. Welcome to Nairobi Railway City. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya and the premier economic hub of East Africa. Nairobi City was founded in 1899 as a railway outpost by the British government. Before that, it was a trading center for the local communities around. Since then, Nairobi has grown to become Kenya's largest city and one of the largest cities in Africa, surpassing much older cities such as Mombasa and Lamu. Unfortunately, the growth has come with a host of problems related to overcrowding, transportation, and crumbling infrastructure. For this reason, the government came up with a plan in 2012 to create a sustainable, integrated, iconic city that will be the center of transportation in the country, the Nairobi Railway City. Unfortunately, the project has been on and off. It was supposed to be part of the Vision 2030 projects in Kenya, but it has failed to take off. It is by far the most ambitious of all Vision 2030 projects, if you ask me. But due to issues with funding and politics, the city has not been able to pick up as anticipated. The most recent news is that the project is well on course. British architecture firm WS8 is an architecture and engineering firm. W.S. Atkins is doing the design and the master plan currently. The UK's export finance agency UKEF signed an MOU with the Kenyan government in June 2022 to provide about $1.5 billion to help finance the project. The UK finance minister even toured the project location in 2023, accompanied by the chief cabinet secretary Musalia Mudavadi and the then infrastructure minister or Infrastructure Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen. The project area is about 176 hectares, though that is the area, the build-up area alone. The whole project will also include transportation lines such as railway lines and BRT lines, which are not included in the 176 hectares. 176 hectares is about 435 acres. Most people do not know the difference between a hectare and an acre. To them in Swahili, they just say acre. But we have a hectare and an acre. A hectare is about 100 meters by 100 meters. An acre is much smaller. An acre is the size of a standard football field, slightly smaller than a standard football field. 1 hectare is equal to around 2.5 acres. So for you, most of our land we buy it in acres, not hectares. But when we are measuring very large tracts of land, we normally use hectares. So the project is about 176 hectares or 435 acres, and it will be located in the current area known as railways. It is the area between Haile Selassie Avenue, Uhuru Highway, Bunyala Road and Commercial Street. Commercial Street is a continuation of Bunyala Road and Landis Road. That whole area, it encompasses that whole area. It's quite a big area for a commercial. It is bigger than the current CBD, so is quite big. It will also be a step towards creation of a greater Nairobi CBD. There is a plan to make Nairobi CBD to be much bigger than it is now, which will include the area, the upcoming railway city, Upper Hill, the current CBD, and the downtown area. It's not really downtown, but people call it downtown colloquially. Colloquially, Kenyans call it downtown, but if you go by city planning definitions, that is like inner city. That is supposed to be the inner city, not downtown. Downtown area is the CBD area. The CBD area, KICC, Hilton, those areas, that is the real downtown, not the place we call downtown. The city is supposed to be divided into 3 urban cores. The MICE. MICE is an abbreviation for meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. In the recent past, there has been a growth in the meetings industry, in quotes. So stakeholders came out with the term MICE to create an industry that facilitates meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions. And most cities have plans to create a MICE area. Most cities in the world have plans to create a MICE area to improve the city's standing in the international meetings industry. So we have the MICE. It is divided into several urban cores. We have the MICE, we have the center core, we have the east core, which all sit south of the current railway marshalling yard. A marshalling yard is simply a section where trains park, serviced, and are loaded and unloaded, such. So the current marshalling yard in Nairobi is at a place called Railways, just behind Tuk University. and we also have the SGR marshalling yard near the Nairobi National Park. So the mines, the center core and the east core will be located south of the marshalling yard. On the upper side of the marshalling yard, there will be a new railway station, which will be a circular shape, and it will sit above the marshalling yard and extend onto the current, all the way to the current railway station. It will be a circular shape, and there will be a BRT coming towards it, entering the station and out, so that vehicles can come and drop people in the station. So on the upper side of the marshalling yard is the railway station. We have the Tuk University, and we have the R&D. The Tuk University will be connected to the R&D area. The R&D area will be where the current, I don't know what Pastor Nganga will do, because the R&D area is supposed to be where the current Neno Church is. It will take that area. R&D simply means research and development. It is a place where innovative activities are done, experiments and research by stakeholders. So it makes sense that it will be next to Tuk University, so that they can work, they can create a synergy with Tuk University. There are plans also to involve other universities such as Nairobi University and Kenyatta University to have synergy with the R&D in the railway city. The eastern side of the city will include the residential area. The residential area will be implemented earlier to ensure faster monetary returns, because once you build houses and people rent, money starts coming in. So I presume they will build it earlier and the people rent the houses, and the money that will come from it will also be used to implement the other sections of the city. The MISCO on the west is proposed to be a commercial area with predominantly MICE function complemented by office and housing functions. An international office zone is that it will be set adjacent to the MICE. So we'll have international offices. If some of these international organizations decide to set office in Nairobi, of which is one thing Nairobi is known for in Africa. Nairobi has gotten very many international organizations setting office here in Africa as the African headquarters. So that side will also absorb some of the office demand in Upper Hill area. There will be office buildings with retail areas that could generate a synergy and boost the office working environment. The Eastern Core will be mostly characterized by public anchor programs, which will provide public services and the surrounding areas. Remember, the Eastern Core will be the residential area. So it makes sense that within the residential area, we have things like social centers. I don't know if there will be a stadium. From the map, I didn't see a stadium, but there is City Stadium just next to it. Maybe it will be improved, and there'll also be some shopping areas and such things that generally appeal to residential areas. The current railway headquarters, which is now the office of the Chief Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, will be converted into a cultural center. You know, the current railway headquarters is really a nice building, a historical building. There is also another historical building opposite the current railway headquarters. That is the Easy Coach offices. That building will also be retained because it is historical and it's generally good architecture, so it will be retained. I don't know for what use, but it will be retained. There will be an outdoor amphitheater near Uhuru Highway next to MICE. An outdoor amphitheater is good for performance, music shows and whatever. People like Chris Brown won't give excuses of not coming to Kenya because we do not have enough infrastructure with that amphitheater in place. So it will be just next to Uhuru Highway, near the golf course. Social programs, like I said, will be on the eastern side, which will have essential social infrastructure programs, administrative government offices, a hospital, a school, a community center, because it is in the residential area, like I said before. The city will have lots of green spaces, as you can see from the design. They are planning to make a green city, which is good. Most of the current cities, especially in third world countries, people normally fight to create concrete jungles with no greenery. You find a city is just brown or buildings and buildings with no trees. So this city, from the design, if the design is implemented as it looks, it will have lots of green spaces. The central square, located at the center of the city, the one with the fan shape, will be providing strong spatial perception of centrality to the Nairobian. To the west, the Ngong River is significant spine of the Green Corridor. I don't know if people know that there's a river passing through that area called Ngong River. Many people don't know. There's Ngong River passing, though currently it's very polluted, but it is there. Yeah. The eastern and western sides will be linked with an open space network, and it will create a physical link between the two areas. There's an open space where people can walk. It will be very pedestrian friendly, by the way. There will be open spaces and greenery and pedestrian walk. There will also be lots of pedestrian walkways designed to bypass the CBD. For example, there will be one running from Uhuru Park to Mudurwa, the current Mudurwa. Though Mudurwa will be demolished, it will be replaced with residential areas, but there will be pedestrian walk from Uhuru Highway. It will go through, I think part of the work on that pedestrian walk is already happening, and I did a video about it. The Haile Selassie pedestrian underpass, that is part of the railway city, and it will be used to draw human traffic from Uhuru Park areas through the railway city to Mudurwa and Machakos country bus area. As you can see, the Neno Church will surely be demolished because I don't know what Pastor Nganga will do. There will be also another pedestrian network from the east side to from the west to the east, cutting from the Nyayo Stadium area through the railway city to City Stadium area. In the north-south direction between Moi Avenue and industrial area, there will be an open space that will provide a connection between the existing CBD and industrial area. So pedestrians will be able to walk from, currently the connection is currently not very good. There is a small pedestrian overpass crossing the marshalling yard of the railway, but the pedestrian overpass is too small. It's not very popular. There's another one under construction. I think it is planned. It is part of the railway city again. As you can see, it is already under construction. They're going to build a bigger one with a lot of greenery that will connect the CBD to industrial area. So the industrial area will also create the link between railway city and JKIA. The transportation corridors to JKIA will pass directly through industrial area, so that will help spruce up the industrial area growth. The road network of the railway city consists of three main collector roads. There will be the north-south direction, the extended workshop road and the enterprise road, and in the east-west direction we'll have Bunyala road that extends into commercial road. These three roads are the main missing links connecting the existing city center with the neighboring areas like industrial area, Madaraka and whatever. There is also a proposed NMT loop. NMT is simply non-motorized traffic. Traffic generally is pedestrian traffic, and bicycles are parts of NMT. So there is an NMT loop that is proposed in the final option to provide easy flow of pedestrian and bicycle traffic, especially in the flat area of the project site. It will ease traffic movement and access to main urban areas, resulting in decreasing of motorized traffic volumes. There will be 4 BRT lines to be integrated into the city. There will be line 1 and 2 that runs from Uhuru Highway to Enterprise Road and into Haile Selassie Avenue. There will also be line 3 that runs along Haile Selassie Avenue, touching the northern boundary of the project site. Further, the newly proposed line 6 running along Enterprise Road, thereby providing important link to the JKA. Like I said, JKA will be connected to the city via industrial area. So it will provide connection to the airport, which will make it easier. The route will also be used to access industrial area, which is a key production area for Nairobi. The central station area is located in the center of the project site. It is surrounded by a fan-shaped open square, which is a melting pot of diverse activities and also the heart of the new monumental new city. The railway lines will pass below it, like I said before. The marshalling yard, and people basically you'll enter the railway station and go downstairs to board your train. It will be more like a subway. The ratio of private land accounts for 49.1%, while public land will be about 50.9%. So that is a good ratio. It will enable private entrepreneurs to do their thing in the city and also give space for the government. The highest percentage of land, however, is allocated to open spaces and parks and plazas. The roads will occupy about 16% of the total area. The private sector, commercial and office dominant mixed uses are about 28.6% of the total land. The residential and residential dominant mixed areas are about 11.5%. And public purposes is about 5.7%. A comprehensive internal network will be provided within the railway city in order to relieve current traffic congestion along Uhuru Highway and Haile Selassie Avenue. They also have to do away with Wakulima Market. Wakulima Market is an eyesore. I don't know why it's even still there. That thing should be relocated like yesterday. It is an eyesore. I'm glad if this city comes into fruition, Wakulima Market will be relocated It will be replaced with Wakulima Park. I don't know, maybe they'll take it somewhere else, but Wakulima Park will be the best. That area needs a park. It's very chaotic and it smells because of the Wakulima market. It normally smells because the Wakulima market is consists of agricultural produce, which sometimes is left to rot. So it will be replaced with Wakulima Park. And so, like I said before, we hope the city, the railway city, will be on again. The financiers from UK who are here, you can see some of the works have started happening, though they are the very minor pieces of the city. So I don't know when the real work, the real extensive work will begin. But we hope it begins. If that is built, that will be a game changer. Nairobi will be transformed into a very, very modern city because it won't only be good for the city itself, it will influence the whole of Nairobi city. Like I said before, there are plans to make a greater CBD that will include the railway city, the CBD, the inner city area, Madaraka area, and Upper Hill. So Nairobi will have probably the biggest CBD in Africa if that happens. Considering the railway city is a transportation is transportation oriented, it will help solve most of the problems in Nairobi. Most of the problems in Nairobi are created by a lack of a good transportation system. And with railway city, it will be the center of it will be the core of the BRT lines that are proposed for Nairobi. And it will also be the core of the commuter rail service. I hope they do away with the current railways, meter gauge railways, and replace it with something like trams or monorail. I think a monorail will do a very good job. Unfortunately, whatever is happening currently is really pointing to the normal meter gauge railway. As you can see in Ngong, they are building a new station there that will connect Ngong to Kawangware area, satellite area, Dagoretti, Ngong to Dagoretti. But they are still doing the meter gauge railway. I don't know what is wrong with these people. Why can't they do something modern? Why can't they do a tram rail or a monorail? If they do monorails and tram rails for Nairobi, we'll have done away with matatus. I think nobody will even board matatus. We'll have done away with matatus. If they just do a good network of trams and rails, because a good network of trams and rails will reach all corners of Nairobi. And even in the more modern estates such as Runda and Gigiri, where even matatus are not allowed, and Kitisuru, where matatus are not allowed, trams will be there because trams are not chaotic. People living in those areas won't have a problem with trams bypassing or passing through their neighborhoods. So that is it for Nairobi Railway City. We hope it takes shape.